Hello, Black women. Hello, friends. Are we finally ready to burn the cape? Are we ready to stop trying to be the superhero, the superhuman person that people expect us to be just because we're Black women? Take the cape off, set it on fire, burn it, and live our own lives, spread our own wings. Are we ready to get that started? I think that we're going to talk today about three steps that I have seen Black women take. Black women who have lived their lives as if they were the superhero, as if it was their responsibility to save the world or save somebody else, right? Whether that somebody else wanted it or not. I've seen Black women take some steps to go from living that life at the expense of their own peace of mind, at the expense of their own joy, at the expense of their own self. Right? I've seen Black women take off that cape, burn that cape, and start living their own lives. So today we're going to talk about three things that I think you can do. We're going to talk about what is the cape and what does it look like in Black women's lives and why we got to take it off. Why do we even need to take it off and burn it? That's what we're going to do today. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School. I'm the co-creator of Exodus Summit, and I help Black women take a sabbatical or a career break from work. I help Black women bop around the world as a nomad, travel, see the world. I help Black women move abroad and just live in a better place. If any of these things sound good to you at all, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button and then turn on notifications, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. I'm in San Jose, Costa Rica. I am in a place where I don't need to wear a cape. I've been in Costa Rica since I think August. It's hard to keep track, I'm pretty sure. And I leave here in a few days and I go to Grenada in the Caribbean, another place where I don't need to wear a cape. I get to live a life where I am a person, an individual, and not a representative for a race of people, not expected to be the savior of any group of people. I just get to be Stephanie in my life, in other parts of the world. So today I want to talk to you about how you can do that too. I promise you, you will be more fulfilled, more satisfied with your life when you live your life instead of the life that Black excellence tells you to live. Black excellence has prescribed a very narrow way of living to Black women. Black excellence has told Black women you need to have one of these 5 jobs. You need to be outwardly respectable to white people, right? No matter what you really want for yourself. In fact, it helps if you don't know what you want for yourself at all. It really helps if you don't have any dreams for yourself. That way you can dedicate your whole life to others, to upholding this idea that white is superior, right? Which we call white supremacy, to upholding white supremacy by striving so hard to reach the standard that will make you valuable in their eyes. If you're living a life where your goal, your dream is to be seen as better or equal in white people's eyes, you're upholding the idea of white supremacy. I'm sorry to tell you, you're upholding that idea. As soon as you say, I need to be XYZ so people will treat me with respect, okay? I don't want to go off on too many tangents, but number one, they're never going to treat you with respect, okay? That's the whole point of white supremacist ideology. You're not deserving of respect to them. So trying to strive in order to be viewed in a way that is valuable or acceptable to them is a losing proposition 100 times out of 100. White supremacy is set up that way. It's set up that way, and Black excellence and white supremacy are Black excellence is a result of white supremacist ideology. It's like a reaction or response to, but there's no win. Black excellence gives Black women no win. You're striving and striving to win at Black excellence, and in the end, you get nothing. You get exhausted. You get an early grave, okay? So that is why we're taking off the cape and we're setting it on fire. The first thing I want to talk about is what the cape looks like in Black women's lives. How do I know what it looks like in Black women's lives? Along with career break coach Rashida Dow, who is here on YouTube as well, and I'll link to Rashida's channel in the description of this video. Along with Rashida, I run a community called Exodus Summit. We're 14,000 Black women strong. It's a community of 14,000 Black women who have decided that they now want to live the life that they want for themselves, not the life of striving, not the life of Black excellence. Most of the women in the community are working towards moving abroad, or bopping around for a good period of time as a nomad, or at least taking a career break, taking a break from work and just going someplace else in the world and seeing something new and something different. So that's how I know what the Cape looks like. Black women tell me in the Exodus Summit community and here on this YouTube channel also, right? So the Cape looks like putting everyone before you, okay? The Cape looks like I'm Sister Save a Race, and it's my job to be the representative or the savior of an entire group of people, whether everybody in the community wants me to or not. It looks like me being the only person who can do it. If I don't do it, it won't get done. And so I have to sacrifice what I want for myself and do it. What happens when you wear that cape for days, for weeks, for years, for decades, is you come to a point in your life, a big age, where you don't know yourself, where you know the striving version of you, you know the worker version of you, but you don't know your real self. And you don't even know how to get in touch with her. And you know that your days are limited, as are everybody's days on this earth. And you don't know how to find out who you really are because you've spent so much time as this superhero, as this superhuman person. The cape also looks like resenting everyone else who's not doing their part when you took over everybody else's part. You've done everyone else's part, but then you end up resenting everybody in your life, your coworkers, your family, your friends, because you're the one who has to do it all. They do nothing. You're carrying the load in your relationships, on your job, all throughout your life. You're carrying the heavy load. You don't have any place to drop it. There's nobody to share the burden with you, and you resent them. Instead of having a real relationship with people, you are just the worker, right? The housekeeper, the beast of burden in people's lives. Resentment plus exhaustion plus a real disconnect from your actual self is a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for early grave. It's a recipe for miserable existence. It's a recipe for wasting your time on this plane, okay? Wasting your time on this earth, in this life, when things out here are so beautiful and you're filled with resentment and you're tired and you can't see a way to do something else, okay? That's what the cape looks like. It's a pretty universal and standard situation for Black women to find themselves in. I'm not here to blame you. Okay, I don't know if I'm clear on that yet. I'm not here to blame you for that. There are systems plural, designed to get you to that point in your life, okay? But once you realize that's not the life you want for yourself, you do have a responsibility to take action to get away from that life, to take off that cape. I'm telling you, take off the cape, because there are wings underneath there. Wings that are designed to carry you to your dreams. Wings that are designed to let you soar in your life. That cape, that responsibility, that feeling of doing what's required and self-sacrifice is hiding the wings you actually have. That cape is Black excellence. In case I haven't been clear yet, I can't stand it. I don't think you signed up in this life to be Sister Save a Race. I don't think you signed up to be a superhero in this world. So let's talk about how to burn the cape. Number one, you have to decide what you want for yourself. This requires a whole lot of free time. I said that in a few words, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time and focused attention on something that you've never been able to give focused attention to before. It's not easy, but it's simple. I think the key to deciding what you really want for your life, who you really want to be, just for a period, is free time. You don't have to decide who you want to be for the rest of your life, but you can decide who you want to be for this next chapter, however long this chapter in your life is going to last. But who do you want to be for now? Who do you want to be going forward? You can decide on those things. You can listen. I don't know, I said decide on, but I think you can listen to who's in here. You can find her. but it requires a whole lot of free time. Clarity, I'm convinced, is just a result of having a whole lot of free time and releasing the judgments, taking off the cape, right? A whole lot of free time will help you decide what you do want and will help you try out some stuff. Try out a way that you think you might want to live and decide maybe that's not what I want, right? Sometimes women think, oh, I want to do homesteading, right? I want to be a person who grows my own food and whatever. Try it out for a while. Give yourself the free time to see what you want and then live it. So that's number 2. Number 1, decide what you want for your life. Number 2, get that, right? I'm in Costa Rica right now. I want to live in a peaceful place, in a peaceful country with people who treat me well and a place I can afford. I'm not saying Costa Rica is cheap, but it is a place that's in my budget. And so I'm in Costa Rica because it's a peaceful place where people treat me well. But I wouldn't know that those things were important to me if I hadn't taken the time to decide what I wanted for my life. I get to look back over my life and see which things were harmful to me, which things helped me really shine, helped me really step out of my cocoon and butterfly, right? Be the butterfly. For me, it includes having people around me who treat me well. I've lived in places where people didn't treat me well. I've lived in some very white places in the world, or in the country, in the United States, in the Midwest, you know. I've lived in the Midwest, and I cannot be my full self when I'm surrounded by people I don't like, and by people who don't treat me well. There's not enough self-care and buffering and shutting yourself away. You cannot do enough of that to counteract the damage that those people do to you. So I've removed myself from them, right? Number 1, decide on what you want in your own life without other people getting a say, without other people being the judge of whether or not that is worthy or whether or not you're worthy of it. And then get yourself those things. Again, sounds simple. It takes some time and some effort, but you can make progress and get yourself towards the life that you really want. Number 3, these are not in the right order, because number 3 is get in community with people who also want those things, because the community that you have will help make it more possible. The community that you're in today probably values Black excellence. If you're a Black person in the U.S., your community today probably values your title more than yourself. But it's not everybody. That's not everybody. There are Black people, in particular Black women, who will see you and value you as you and love you as you, not as your title. And will help you do the same. Will help you love you too. Will help you value you too. Will help uncover some things that are really interesting and important to you that you haven't had a chance to explore yet. So get in community with these Black women. I've already told you about the Exodus Summit community. I'm going to link to that community in the description of this video, but your thing doesn't have to be wanting to move abroad or take a career break or bop around the world. Whatever your thing is, if it's intentional living, if it's homesteading, right? If it's something totally different, something else, which I can't think of right now. Get in community with people who value that thing. If it's being a performer, right? Get in community with people who value that thing. It'll help to make it more realistic for you and help answer your questions and guide you, but also help you make progress, okay? So what about fulfillment? If those are the 3 steps to burning the cape, deciding what you want for yourself, getting a community with people who also want that thing, and then getting that thing, living your life that way, then what do we do about fulfillment? Some people think that there's only fulfillment through struggle. We have to have the enemy of white supremacy or misogynoir or colorism, and we have to actively be working on fighting that enemy to be fulfilled. I don't think so. I think that there is fulfillment in ease, in particular for Black women. If we're carrying the generational DNA, if we're carrying DNA of people who did not get ease, I think that there is fulfillment in ease. There is fulfillment in going with the flow. There's fulfillment in not struggling. I've put myself in places where I don't have to struggle, and I feel good. I feel fulfilled. I do spend time with other people. I think community is also a key part of fulfillment. So getting in community with people who are into the thing that you're now into or thinking about doing is going to help you feel more fulfilled. Especially if you've been wearing that I can do it by myself cape, or I got to do it all by myself cape, right? Taking that cape off and then getting in community with other people and letting them support you in different ways and supporting them in different ways will help you feel more fulfilled. The ways that I feel fulfilled as a person who doesn't struggle, right? As a person who doesn't involve herself in fighting white supremacy or in fighting whatever, right? As a person who's like, let me just go to a place where I ain't got to deal with that in my life. I'm not saying nobody has to deal with it where I don't have to deal with it, right? The way that I feel fulfilled is having community, being in community with other people who I like, right? Who I'm into. The amount of giving and sharing and support that we do inside of that community is enough to make you feel super fulfilled. I wake up every day ready, can't wait for my feet to hit the ground to do whatever I'm gonna do inside of the community. Or not, right? Or not. Do whatever I'm gonna do inside of my Airbnb or my house. Fulfillment doesn't require struggle. I think that's the most important thing. You don't need to be fighting an enemy to feel fulfilled. You can feel fulfilled through ease and going with the flow. If you can't do it for yourself, try it for the people in you. The other people whose DNA you're carrying around, do it for them. Just for a little while, right? Even if you're not convinced, try it for a little while and see if something in you doesn't just feel good, feel whole, feel fulfilled by embracing ease. I want to say one more thing about taking off the Sister Save a Race cape and burning it. I want to say that you still feel connected to Black people. You will still feel connected. You don't have to be involved in a struggle in order to feel connected and to love on and be loved on by Black people. I promise you. Some of this you're going to have to just see for yourself, but you don't have to be actively fighting a fight. You don't have to be actively battling in your life in order to love Black people. I promise you. If that's your concern, I hope that you can just step out on faith, trust me a little bit today, and understand that I am loved by Black women. And I don't struggle and fight. I don't belong to any struggle in this world, right? I don't belong to any struggle inside of this community. My thing is embracing ease, right? I just met up with some Black women here in Costa Rica, some women who are YouTube subscribers. Most of them were YouTube subscribers of this channel. And what they say to me is, yes, we're embracing ease, right? What the words that resonate with them are the words of ease and peace and joy, right? And not the words about the struggle and the anti-Blackness and white supremacy, right? A problem that some women have when they start thinking about burning the cape is, who would I be if I'm not this superhuman person? If I'm not taking the superhero role, the super Black woman, Sister Save a Race role, who am I? The point is, you're supposed to know. We're supposed to know who we are without those external pressures or costumes, masks and costumes. If you don't know who you are outside of the struggle, whichever struggle, if you don't know who you are outside of that, that's why you need to put the struggle down. That's why. You're supposed to know who you are. I think we're supposed to know ourselves, even though we're always changing and growing and evolving, learning, stretching, right? That we should, at our core, we should know who we are. We should know what we want for ourselves individually, not what society tells us to want, but what we actually want. And if you don't know those things, that's the reason you need to take off the cape and burn it. Why do I say burn the cape? Because it's really easy to put it back on. Somebody else can put your cape on for you, right? The way capes are set up, right? You don't even really need to do anything. You could just be standing there and somebody can put a cape on you. So it's important to burn it. It's important to say, I'm not turning back. This isn't a rest. It's not a vacation from the cape, right? I hope for you. I know I can't tell you what to do, but I hope for you. This is not a vacation from being the superwoman, superhero. I hope that this is a new outlook, a new approach to your entire life. I changed my approach to my entire life when I was 41 and I took a career break. I took my gap year. I was a hospital pharmacy technician. I took a year and I traveled the world for a year. And I could not return. I was not the same person. I couldn't go back to that old life. I think that when you can take some time, get some clarity on what you want for yourself, it's much easier to burn the cape, okay? So we're deciding what we want for ourselves. We're getting in community with other people who want those things. And then we're getting those things. We're making progress towards living those things out. If you have been Sister Save a Race or Sister Save a Family or Sister Save a Church, Sister Save a Community at some point in your life, please let me know in the comments if you're ready to give it up or if you've already given it up. If you've already given it up, let us know in the comments how it went. Okay, seriously, let some other Black women in the comments know that it's possible and share with us how that went for you. If you're still there, then let us know if you're ready to give it up. Okay? I think that those of you who feel like the world is going to crash and burn if you give this thing up, in the comments, I hope what you'll see is not, okay? Because you're going to find some women in the comments who already gave that up, and we're still here. We're still here, still living, okay? All right. If you know a Black woman who needs to take off her cape and burn it, please send her this video. Please hit the share down there. Hit share and send this to her directly. Let her know that it's time for her to take off that cape, burn it, and you stand in community with her so that we can live out our own individual lives, okay? And stop being agents of white supremacy by upholding white supremacist ideologies like the we have to work twice as hard for half as much ideology. If that's how you're living your life, you're an agent of white supremacy. I know you don't want to be, okay? Let's give it up. Let's burn it. Thank you so much for watching. Black women friends, you're invited to join the Exodus Summit community. The link is in the description of this video. Please hit the like button before you go, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Am I going in order? Let me calm myself down. It's warm here. I'm sweating. I can't start sweating. I'm 49. Listen, once I start sweating, it's over for me. So let me calm down. What does the cape look like?